Hello everyone, I'm the Nerdy Fool, and welcome back to Frostpunk 2 Beta, where we'll be continuing where we left off last time. As I recall, we had made it to... let's pause. We were right at the whiteout that happens at, I guess, week 190. So, sort of pause there, hoping to experience what that whiteout is fresh on this new stream. One thing I did learn off game from just seeing what people talk about with this game, apparently a lot of people are missing experiencing the whiteout because they beat the scenario too quickly. If you follow these prompts through exploration, eventually they take you to a location, and when you find that specific location, the beta ends. And so a lot of people aren't even getting to this event, but I want to see what the whiteouts are like. So I'm glad I've taken longer in my exploration. We'll get to see that together. What are we working on? Okay, I've got to wait for both research and council. What are you? Resource nearly depleted. Ew. And that's in our food district? That's gonna be a problem. I have 3 weeks of food left coming in. Oh, that's another thing that I have since learned since I was playing, is that these stockpiles, once they're full, they're still digging. So you'll see the timer was going down for how much food I have left, even though my stockpile was full. And so they're just creating food and dumping it on the ground to rot away and be destroyed. Which is terrible. So you need to create more stockpiles, or... I don't know. You have to come up with some plan, or as I've just done, turn off the machines. Once our stockpile gets lower, then we can turn them back on to rebuild it up. But having them run while the stockpiles are full is just wasting the limited resource that you have. So, yeah, that's not good. Storm hits the city. Whiteout Frostland becomes inaccessible, cold something. Intensifies, maybe? Storm forces them to start going home. Okay, the Ice Bloods rally is going away because of the storm. Okay. Ooh, I can pass a new law, and we had promised, apparently, I don't remember what we were doing last time, but we promised forged additives. So, let's propose it. We've already got enough success, or enough supporters, so let's vote and we'll just automatically succeed. And this will make our food generation go even further.
The delegates have spoken. The law
Forgers delighted you kept your word. They now look upon your rule more positively and consider you a leader with integrity. So, relations go up. Too soon to ask for more money. I could get more money from the Ice Bloods, or I could ask for a hunting trip. Let's see, we are losing 112 per day. So I could have them do a hunting... oh, I can't have them do a hunting trip, which would get us 80 food. But, meh. These guys, obviously, nothing I can do for them, because they hate me. But might as well get some funding from these guys. Even though I don't really need it, I'm sitting on nearly 600 heat stamps. I'm still going to do it. Whoa. That storm is intense. And even after their relations significantly dropped, it went from devoted to supporting, which is fine. Alright, we are almost out of materials already, which is crazy. So let's turn that back on, so it'll start building back up. Go home! Heated railway tracks. Is that what I was researching? That storm is intense. Can I actually direct people? No. So we can't do exploration. We can. I can actually go here in the middle of this whiteout. Is it because the whiteout is covering this area, so I couldn't explore any of these locations blocked by storm? But because these are outside of it, I can explore them, but I can't find new locations. I see how that works. I could build a coal mine. Is that the one I... No, this is the one I had. Which is currently not functioning because of the storm. But I could build a new one. First of all, let's read these. Those left behind. While scavenging a deserted campsite, we come across a well-preserved diary. A quick skim revealed the author's catalog of her husband's mental decline since the discovery of a black found, likely an oil seep. Their people had begun increasing their dependence on the substance and were looking into its potential medicinal properties. He was fiercely opposed, and from the sound of it, his opposition wasn't well received. She wrote of a region similar to the one southwest of here. I see. Again, Sea of Ice is marked. Dead automaton. This snowcrawler was separated from the main expedition up north by the blizzard and ran out of fuel. Some of the people trapped in it are still inside, frozen solid. We'll give them a proper burial. It was transporting a bunch of generator spare parts, and its shipping list have a proper destination, Winterhome. So is this another reason for why Winterhome fell? Hey, Super Monkey. You watched a bunch of YouTube videos, and it was one on one of my streams a month ago. Well, thanks. I hope you enjoyed the YouTube videos, and thanks for being here a month ago and now. I appreciate it. Let's see. 5 cores will be transported to the city. Plus 10 cores stockpile. So I don't actually know if there are any uses for cores in this beta. It says that cores are used for... I can't get it to stay on screen for my mouse. Okay. Cores are used for advanced buildings and generator upgrades. There's a generator upgrade tech that is blocked out of this beta. There might be advanced buildings that use the cores. We don't know. Or at least I don't know in the beta yet. I haven't found any. But I don't have a reason not to do this right now while everything else is blocked off because of the storm. So yes, let's grab those 5 cores and a larger resource allotment of cores. Whatever that means. And I might as well construct this coal mine. We've already got a trail, so we'll be able to bring in 200 coal per day. Which should help with the deficit we're running, since our normal coal production was offline. No, our stockpile is still going down. So part of the problem, I think, is that our heat is crazy right now because the temperature, -100. One thing I liked better about Frostpunk 1 is that as temperatures were changing, it was very noticeable. Like, it wasn't just that you had the weather warning, but when it happened, you had someone shouting like, the temperature is dropping, and big ice effects. There's minor ice effects that happen, but it seemed a lot more noticeable in Frostpunk 1 as temperatures changed, and I was better able to follow it and plan for it. Here it's just sort of a surprise of, oh, whoa, there's temperature changing? Like, when did we get down to -100? It's the same thing with these notifications. In Frostpunk 1, you got very loud noise. They flash at you. Your expeditions would glow red when they were good. Like, very visual and audible cues of what you were working on is finished. Time to do something else. Versus here, it just pops up this little gold plus sign that's super easy to miss. And so I do miss it all the time. So yeah, generator upgrades we can't get. Not available in the preview. What do I want? I need more food, clearly. Harvester hangars, actually. We have a location we found, I believe, that's getting food from logistics, from the Frostlands. So we could potentially bring in more of this food. Harvesting is increased, or harvesting efficiency is increased. I don't know what the difference is there. Aerodrome from which the harvesters are dispatched to the Frostlands to make sure every last bit of food is extracted and brought from for sorting and dedicated grading rooms. Or airdrome from which harvesters are dispatched to the Frostlands to speed up food extraction. Those sound basically identical to me. So maybe I'll choose the machinist option since I don't have it. Well, is there anything I'd rather get? I could get the advanced hothouses, which cost cores. Ooh, I was wrong. There is a use for cores. Are all of the advanced production buildings requiring cores? So we have coal mines. If I got the advanced coal mine, it does take cores as opposed to the regular coal mine that doesn't. That's what it is. Sawmill versus woodworks. Woodworks takes coal, sawmills did not. I see. So if we want the higher tech buildings, right now our hothouses are giving us 80 food. If we got the advanced hothouse instead, it's 160 food. Or we could go the machinist option for only 120, but less workers. I getcha. Or if I want to do more scouting. How's the beta? The beta has been good so far. There are things I definitely like about it and things that I hope they improve, mainly with the UI, which I was just going over. There are things that I wish it drew to my attention better. Rail capacity plus 30%. Rail capacity significantly increased. Red is usually shown as bad in the UI, blue being good, so why is increasing the trail capacity bad? That I don't know. This seems a lot more in depth. So the biggest addition to this compared to Frostpunk 1 is not really a good comparison because they are trying to be very different games. Frostpunk 1 was very much about the in-depth focus on survival of your little colony. This has abstracted out farther. So you're not micromanaging individual people, you're not building individual buildings. Instead, you're putting down districts. And you get like a population count and an amount of workers, but it's a different focus. This is grid-based. So I wouldn't say that you can really say how did this one add to or change the first one. It's a different game set in the same sort of world and theme, but not trying to be the same game. Yeah, that's what I'm going with. It's not trying to do the same thing or be the same thing. It's intentionally a different game in the same setting. Like, a lot of what this one's focused on is the balancing of the different factions and making sure that they don't get so annoyed at you that they become hostile and attack you, like the technocrats are hostile towards me, and that can potentially be a problem. There's also what I'm guessing, and we don't have it yet in the demo, but they're talking about building colonies, which is obviously different than the districts that we can build. Colony makes it sound, at least to me, that we're going to have additional cities that we're building out in the Frostlands. From what I've seen, when you get to the end of this quest line that we're here, you get to the Sea of Ice, there's like 1 or 2 more locations, and the location you end up finding at the end of that looks like it's a oil colony where you'll build a second city and be maintaining multiple cities. Probably, we don't really know, but that's kind of how it feels from what I've seen of it thus far, but I haven't gotten there in my gameplay. Looks way bigger though. I enjoyed Frostpunk 1 a lot. I'm very hyped for Frostpunk 2, even thought of pre-ordering it just for the beta. Yeah, so I loved Frostpunk 1. I've played through all the scenarios multiple times, so I knew... And 11-bit Studios has a great reputation, so I was pretty confident. Normally pre-order is not a recommended thing, and I don't recommend it for people, but I also wanted to get into the beta. So trusting in their history, I wanted to give it a shot. The beta only lasts for a week, so it ends on the 22nd. So at this point, I wouldn't recommend buying into the beta because you only have a couple of days left to experience the beta. I mean, if that fits your schedule, then go for it. But they're not giving you a week whenever you want that week to be. The week was the 15th to the 22nd. Oh, you watched my Frostpunk 1 videos? Awesome. I'm definitely not the best. There are people who regularly beat all the scenarios on Extreme, and that's madness. But I understood the mechanics well enough that I did pretty good. Anyway, back to us losing here, because I don't have enough food or anything. Oh yeah, we were going to choose a law. I still don't understand what the trail capacity is. Trail capacity takes up land space is what? Shinaka? I don't know how to parse that name. What you're guessing. And that's... maybe. Maximum amount of trails you can construct on the Frostlands. But it looks like it's increasing it by 30,000%. And increasing something by 30,000%, your maximum capacity, sounds good, and so I don't know why it would be red. Because this sounds even better, but it also... yeah, I don't know. Food is my current problem, so I really should choose a food option. Work compensation, though, where you can get more productivity. More production. Oh, I can't click on those. Or trust, but losing heat stamps? Gross. Prisons, if I really want to deal with the technocrats. But no. Let's go with food. So the choice would be advanced hothouses, which is the way I'm leaning. Because I just want to see what these awesome buildings that use cores, what makes them special. Yeah. I'm roided up. Feel free to check out my videos, and for sure, thanks for the follow, and come visit whenever. I always enjoy people being on streams chatting. So I'm thinking I want to go for the hothouses as opposed to the harvester hangars, just because I want a building that uses cores. Do I have enough workforce? Yeah, yes, I've got plenty of workforce. I'm going to have to build a new district up here because that one is basically exhausted. Not thrilled by that, but we'll have to come up here, open up this area, which will take food, 600 workers, plus the workers necessary for this, which is 400 more workers. So 1,000 workers, which I have. And because I like the Ice Bloods, we'll choose their option because it's the same option, and I'll support them. So it'll take 19 weeks to get that, which is a long time. Are there any more laws I care about? We've got all of those laws. I have a choice already. That's the same button. Nothing new in any of those that I can choose. I don't have a funeral law yet. I have all the other laws chosen. This kind of reminds you of various iterations of SimCity. There is definitely some aspect of that where you're not... yeah, in SimCity, you're not placing down individual buildings. You're typically building hubs, like this will be my housing block. And you're not focusing on the individuals and what they... like how many individuals are sick. You're kind of focusing more on my city needs these aspects, and here's how I improve it. And I need to build more water plants because there's not enough water. And it's a similar idea. Obviously, this is a lot more dark, apocalyptic than a SimCity game would be, but the scale, I think you're right, that the focus is more on governing the city as an abstracted layer rather than focusing a lot closer down into managing the individuals. And I'm going to assign 5 workers here and 3 workers there, like we had in Frostpunk 1. So funeral laws. I hope to not have many deaths, though we're in a storm, so maybe I will. But reducing how much trust is lost on a death doesn't bother me much. Harvesting funerals to boost up research speed and decrease disease. Both sound good, and it would get the technocrats to not hate me as much. Problem is, I don't know if I could actually succeed on this law, because there's already 41 people against me. The technocrats are just too small of a minority. But it sounds like such a better version of the 2 laws. What would it take if I pressured I could succeed? And I can do that because I'm already pretty trusted. If I attempted to negotiate... machinists... If I wanted you on my side... I have enough money I could fund you. That still doesn't get me the win. Even with all of them on my side, it's still not enough. If I... No. Come back. Propose this. Negotiate. I could negotiate with the foragers. Which I guess they're the ones who are mainly against it. Because it's the machinists and the technocrats that want the technology stuff. So if I funded you guys... No, that's... Would I have to make deals with both of them? Okay. If we don't do that, and we're just here, who is on my side? 8 machinists, 3 foragers, and all 7 technocrats. Against me is all of the Ice Bloods. And the Ice Bloods will not negotiate on this because they are heavily against it. So I can get 29 machinists and 12 foragers, which would be enough for my victory. Alright. I will fund you guys. That gets me to 49. And then I have to hope that I get 2 of the 12 foragers who haven't yet decided. This is rough. And I don't know if I fail the vote, do I still owe them funding? And I might. I mean, I'm betting I would, actually. Which would really stink. But I'm going to try it, because we'll know... Assuming this fails, then I'll still... It answers the question of whether I would owe them. So we're going to promise them that if they vote for me, we will give them some money. Tell them you're Moses? Alright, I've made the deal with them. Let's vote. We've got 49 already on our side. Can I get 2 more people? Yes!
The votes are in. The measure passes.
Okay. And that should have gotten these guys slightly happier with me. Because that's a law they want. And then I have to fund you guys, which I can do. Again, we've got 1,000 heat stamps. So I will fund you, which makes them trust me more and like me more. Okay, and before I unpause, this is going to run out really, really soon, and I do not want to run out of food. I need to get up to here. Can I just go up this cliff? Apparently I can. Alright. So we'll have them start frost breaking this. I do like the graphics. I wish I could zoom in more, but again, this is a more abstract, zoomed out sort of game, and so I think that's why they don't let you zoom in as much as they did in Frostpunk 1, which still didn't let you zoom in very far. A wise use of public funds, the machinist says when I gave them a bunch of money. Ah. Alright, before that runs out, let's get our food district going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I guess. And then we will have our advanced hothouses in 14 more weeks. The blatant favoritism. Yeah, I give money to who I want. Don't worry. We are nearly out of coal. Anything I can do in the Frostlands to help with that? We're already bringing in a tiny bit of coal here. I could build a railway. Maybe. Probably not, actually. If I wanted you to build... Can I get them to build a railway in the middle of a blizzard? The answer appears to be a yes. Alright, well, we've got these guys sitting around doing nothing. Build me a railroad. Alright. Where's my city? There it is. I certainly wouldn't want to be building a railroad in the middle of this whiteout. Looks like 2 more weeks and then it ends. No, 220 is when it ends, not 210. 10 more weeks. Severe cold. Oh dear. Shelter scarcity. I didn't realize I had a shelter scarcity. That's not good. Do I have anything I can do with housing? I do not. So I'm gonna have to build a whole nother housing district. Which I can do. If I build housing, and I think there is a benefit for building near food production. Let's see. Warmth sharing, +1 heat. They get +1 heat from housing being nearby. I can't actually build up there. That is a shame. Oh well, I can get a little bit of benefit. Sure. That'll get me some more housing. And I can't do anything about our cold... Or our coal stockpile being empty. Why are you guys not... Have you run out? No, you have 92 weeks left. Let's do an emergency shift on coal. That's a thing. Which lowers trust, but it should get me more coal income. So we've got 374 coming in, which is immediately used by the generator, and that's still not producing anywhere near enough heat. Yeah. You're only putting out... You're putting out 374. So does that mean... Oh. That means this coal mine that I just started up, the storm has moved. Interesting. So the storm isn't covering just a set area. The storm is slowly shifting because this now got hit when it wasn't hit before. Very interesting. Did our railroad finish? I've got all of my scouts back. Yeah. So we've got a railroad now connecting those. I could potentially also build a railroad that connects these. How much would that cost? Here to here. Only 50 heat stamps? I'm cool with that. Meanwhile, I'm hoping we can just survive without too many deaths. I also don't know if there's an easy way of seeing how many people have died. Like, assuming people have died. Oh, we've got a food deficit now. We've eaten through our entire stockpile, so let's turn you back on. You have run out of wood. Awkward. Oh, I can make a new law, but I think I have signed all the laws I want until something new gets, you know, one of these unknowns, if they show up. Yeah. And I do wish we knew more about this rule category. They're all locked off. But some of these, martial law, steward's militia, I'm betting these are kind of like the final laws that we had at the end of the law trees in Frostpunk 1. Yes, Storm Leaves. In Frostpunk 1, where you had really bad crossing the line laws, that sounds like what these are. Oh, you haven't quite finished. There we go. So now I can get the advanced hot hub, or hot house. Let's also get one of these, and I don't care which one, so to make you guys like me more, I'll just choose yours, because they all sound identical to me.